The second most prominent healing that I recall was after I had gotten sick at the school where I worked. Wasn't really sure what it was. Really had no idea about mold. My lungs had been severely affected in the school, and by this time I knew it was something in the building, just didn't really know what it was. It had gotten so hard to breathe, so difficult to breathe. It felt like every breath I took, like I was breathing in granules of sand. I had to breathe short, little, quick breaths because the pain was so incredible when I tried to breathe. I could not take a deep breath, could not get any air into the bottom part of my lungs, and I had severe burning sensation in my upper lungs, just an incredible burning, like my lungs were on fire. I had no idea what was wrong. Went for a lung scan, and the only thing they told me was, your lungs are not normal, we don't know what's wrong with you, and we want you to see a specialist. And at this point, I had been to so many doctors, so many blood tests, I was just incredibly sick of going to doctors. It seemed like there was no one to help me. I had been going to healing masses, so I went up at the time when the priest would call everybody up to get healed. When he put his hand on me and asked me what was wrong, I said to him, I don't know. Something horrible has affected my lungs. Now, before this had happened, I was running 5 to 6 miles a day, every day. Biking 20, 30 miles. Singer, no lung problems whatsoever. Good lungs, in fact. It was just devastating what had happened to my lungs. So he put his hands on my upper chest, where your bronchial area is there, and immediately I felt that same familiar burning sensation, and it started to increase to where the burning pain was so incredible that I felt like I was going to pass out. He asked me, can you feel it now? And it hurt so bad I had started crying, and as I'm crying, I said yes, and then I felt that burning behind my eyes, throughout my body, all throughout my whole system, and in a split second, and I prayed, dear God, whatever is wrong with my lungs, it's not just in my lungs, it's in my whole body. I feel this burning everywhere throughout my whole body. Meanwhile, as he's laying his hands on me, he said, I sense a poison. He said, this is some type of poison. And next thing I knew, I hit the ground and he's praying over me. I don't recall very much of that, except that I do recall severe burning, the burning pain in the lungs just seemed to get worse and worse and worse, where it was just incredibly painful. He had a cross that he was holding on my forehead. He was praying for me. He got up and he went up on the altar and he actually prayed to God, private prayer himself to God. I'm just laying on the floor kind of gasping for air. I had learned later that everybody was kind of leaning over on their seat. I guess they all thought I was dying. Apparently, I did too. It was very, very scary. So he came back with this cross and he pressed it extremely hard on my forehead and just kept repeating, feel the cool, healing water of Jesus, feel the cool, healing water of Jesus, feel the cool, healing water of Jesus. And eventually my breathing began to subside a little bit, started to breathe somewhat normally. And this whole thing took about 20-25 minutes, I'm told. And then he just casually moved on to the next person. Well, when I got up, when I finally got up and I could hear one of my favorite songs playing in the background, Be Not Afraid, and I got up and I was so shaky. I could barely walk. I was very, very, very weak. I went and I sat in the pew and I was literally shaking. My whole body was shaking. But even though I was weak and I was shaking, that symptom of breathing in sand was gone. I mean, it was completely and totally gone. I tried to take a deep breath. I took somewhat of a deep breath, and it was a little bit of pain, but not real bad, not like the sand. Tried to get some air into my lower lungs, and I couldn't. Eventually I was able to. My lungs, I did have a partial healing of my lungs at that time, although they were not completely healed, and I'll get into that later on. But this was an incredible first time supernatural God healing, using another person, God working through another person, but nonetheless God healing me. It was quite profound, quite incredible, and I'm quite blessed. Thank you, God.
Blessed, blessed are you. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I